Welcome to the Helping Writers Become Authors podcast. I'm KM Weiland, and I am here to take you deep with story theory, writing techniques, and the incredible wisdom of story. I believe story is the greatest power on this earth, and that as writers, we carry the torch of wielding that power with responsibility, passion, and skill. There's no such thing as just a story. Today, it is my honor and my purpose to help you write your best story, astound the world, and maybe change your life. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2024. For me, 2023 was an incredibly productive year. And what makes me most pleased and proud is that I feel I was able to return to a high level of productivity in a way that honored everything I've been learning from the severe burnout I experienced in previous years. So above all, this has been a year of working through healing and growth in my relationship to the business side of being a writer, which is something I'll talk about next week in my annual post about what I've learned in the past year. Now, it seems so long ago, but the biggest news of the year was that I published what is absolutely my favorite book I've ever written, which is Writing Archetypal Character Arcs. This book is a marriage of deep story theory with the psychology and philosophy of life itself. It explores 36 archetypes, all centered around the 6 transformational character arcs of the human life cycle. I have been so happy with its reception, and if you haven't read it yet, I hope you'll check it out. My surprise project of the year was something totally out of left field, the Archetypal Character Guided Meditations. Based on the 6 primary archetypes in my book, Writing Archetypal Character Arcs, these hour-long meditations are designed as dream zoning journeys that allow you to explore your own stories through the powerful archetypal symbolism and structural beats of each arc. I had so much fun creating these 6 unique meditations and found them so moving and impactful in my own life. Something else fun I got to do this year. I don't do many interviews these days, but when I got the chance to work with the awesome team at the Studio Binder channel, I jumped at the chance to contribute to a video about the fundamentals of story structure, featuring one of my all-time favorite, and in my opinion, perfectly plotted movies, Jurassic Park. So if you didn't catch that and you'd like to, you can find that on their channel, Studio Binder, on YouTube. The video is called 3-Act Structure Explained. This year I was incredibly honored for Helping Writers Become Authors to receive its 10th consecutive mention on the Writer's Digest list of 101 websites for writers. And it kind of caught me off guard. I thought that next year was going to be 10 years if I made it again. And so as I was compiling this this episode, I was like, wow, this is it. And it's been so amazing. What a ride this has been. And I just find myself more humbled every year and more determinedly committed to serving the writing community to the best of my gifts and abilities. So thank you all. This year I also got to see Writing Your Story's Theme, published in France, and Creating Character Arcs, translated into Portuguese. And if you haven't seen them, 2 of my novels, Behold the Dawn and Dreamlander, both got brand new covers this year, which I absolutely love. One of my goals this year was to get back into the swing of creating content on YouTube. So I've been posting weekly vids in response to viewers' questions. And you all have prompted some great conversations. I've enjoyed it so much. So check it out. And if you have a question you'd like answered, be sure to leave that in the comments on any one of the vids. I've backed off on my social presence a lot in recent years, but last year I started playing around with Instagram in earnest and started quite enjoying it. So although I still post regular content on Facebook and Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it, I post things on Instagram now, including some glimpses into my own life that I don't post anywhere else. So if you're not already over there, then I hope you'll swing by and say hi. Now, for those of you who know that I struggled mightily with writer's block in past years, you'll understand my happiness in being able to report that I have now completed a full year of writing fiction once more. I'm taking it super slow and putting zero pressure or deadlines on myself as I outline what is quickly becoming a passion project, a dark fantasy called Wild Blood that is turning out to be an incredibly deep and rich journey for me on a personal level. Now, it may be a while before it's finished, but I can't wait to share this story of my heart with you all at some point. And in the meantime, I'm just enjoying myself. On the personal front, I was able to do a good bit of traveling this year, including 2 visits to family in another state and a month-long sojourn in the New England Berkshires, during which I got to visit Sleepy Hollow and Salem, among so many other deeply memorable adventures. I embarked on that trip knowing it would be a portal and wanting it to shake up some of these stuck energies and patterns in my life, and it surely did. I'm still processing it all, but I know it will be rippling into my life for a long time to come. As for this coming year, I have several plans in the works. In addition to continuing with my fiction work in progress, I am considering expanding my YouTube channel into longer videos. Many of you have requested that I include a transcript of the videos, which I can't do on YouTube due to the word limits in the descriptions. So I'm thinking about incorporating videos onto my site, helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com, perhaps alternating them with the regular posts every other week. For the podcast, this would mean there'd still be a podcast every week, but every other week it wouldn't be scripted. It would be more extemporaneous, depending on what topic that I was addressing that week. So let me know what you think about that. I would definitely be interested if that would be of interest or if that would be disappointing and not what you're wanting to hear. So if you'd like to give me some feedback on that, you can do that at helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com/contact. The top project I want to complete this year is a short course that will delve deeper into exploring the relationship of the shadow archetypes to the 6 main archetypes, maiden, hero, queen, king, crone, and mage, that I've been talking about in my book, Writing Archetypal Character Arcs. And I also have ideas for a new book on advanced story structure. And I'm even toying with creating a huge set of masterclasses that will cover all of my most important information. That, obviously, would be a gigantic project that would span more than just this year. But in view of how many requests I get from people looking for editors who follow my system, I'm also toying with the idea of offering a certification. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. So I'm wishing you an amazing new year full of joy, challenges, growth, satisfaction, and of course, the best stories ever. And now, just in case you missed them or want to revisit them, here's a list of my top 10 posts according to the view numbers on my website of 2023. All of these are also podcast episodes, but if you'd like to check out the posts and or just have an easy link to all of them, you can find that on my site at helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com. So here they are. The top post, which was far and away one of my most popular posts ever, with over 100,000 views in 9 months, was how to create insanely complex characters using shadow theory. Number 2, which was my most popular podcast episode on Spotify, was genre tips, how to write fantasy. Number 3 was 5 tips for how to return to writing after a long break. Number 4, the daily routine of a full-time writer. Number 5, how to rediscover the joy of writing. Number 6, genre tips, how to write literary fiction. Number 7, your story isn't working. Here are 6 problems to troubleshoot. Number 8, 5 ways to use your character's shadows to power your story. Number 9, 8 different types of scenes. And number 10, 6 lessons learned from 4 years of writer's block. So I hope you'll stop by the site and talk to me about this. What was your most memorable writing event in 2023? And that brings us to the end of this episode of Helping Writers Become Authors. I hope you'll stop by the site for a full transcript of this episode and to join in the conversation in the comments. Tune in for next week's episode, where we'll continue to explore all things writing and storytelling. If you'd like to support the podcast, it always means a ton when you take a moment to leave a quick rating or review on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or Spotify. To stay updated on all the latest content I create for you, the best way is to join my mailing list at helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com/mailing list. You'll also immediately gain access to lots of free resources, including my books, Crafting Unforgettable Characters and 5 Secrets of Story Structure. For real-time connection with me, more writing advice, and behind-the-scenes glimpses, follow me on Instagram at authorkmwyland. A heartfelt thank you to each one of you for your support and enthusiasm, and especially those of you who support my work on patreon.com/kmwyland. You help make my site, this podcast, and so many other resources available to writers everywhere. So until next week, keep writing, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep being true to your stories. Thank you for being part of helping writers become authors.